That would be great. Well, I'll call the meeting to order. And who is here this evening. Normally we would go around and introduce ourselves, but the folks who are here in person can introduce themselves. And Jason, we've now met, so.
Sure. Peter Dudley, been on here, I think it's been quite a year, but I've been in and out quite a bit, so yeah.
Leah Anderson, Environmental Manager for the City of Holland.
Wonderful. All right, so the first thing we need to do, did we ever approve the October minutes?
I don't know if we did.
I don't know if we did either, and it took me like 20 minutes to find my composition notebook this afternoon.
I think our last meeting you did.
We did? Okay. Then I don't have the
Maybe
ones
saved.
I don't have the ones from February together yet because Nathan wasn't here. Okay, so then if we do not need to approve the minutes, then that is not something. I'll check in on that because I just forgot, and I wanted to make sure I put them on there to make sure that we had them so that we could do it if we needed to do it, but I will look into that. So this is opportunity for members of the public to speak, if any members of the public would like to speak. I'm looking for my notes from the last meeting. So seeing we don't have any members of the public to speak, we will move right along. January. One thing I'll mention for everybody, as a reminder, all of us have to do one city-sponsored training in each annual calendar year. And it used to be that it was only offered once a year in the summer, but now it's being offered multiple times a year for that city training. And it just has to do mostly with keeping the city out of hot water when it comes to legal rules based on how we behave and what we do in our board. I don't know that I can't say that we've ever really, it has not gotten contentious in this particular board, but there are some situations where it's gotten contentious, or there are some activities that have occurred with board members meeting, not in an official meeting, but they had a quorum of board members. And so it's just kind of a reminder of all of those rules. We have to do one of those a year. There was one last month, in March,
or no,
February, in February, because I attended it, so I'm done for the year. But if you haven't done yours yet, the city will notify you when those opportunities come up for you to do them. They've made it so it doesn't take too long, and it's kind of less painful now versus the old format where it was it like a 2 or 3 hour, or it was.
The first one was like 3.5 hours.
Yeah, I went to one at the convention center that was really, really, really long, and a little bit painful. So they're not as bad anymore, those boards. So I would just like to mention that. So next thing on our list is our updates from city staff.
Wonderful. Most importantly, our new sustainability and recycling coordinator starts on Earth Day. Well, Earth Day week, I guess, the Monday before Earth Day. So her name is Emily Jacobson, and she actually comes to us from within the city. We're really excited about this hire. Very outgoing, lots of public outreach and education. She's has a good personality to do public outreach and education. Passionate about sustainability and recycling in her personal life as well. And yeah, so she will not be at your May meeting, But she will be at your June meeting.
June,
Just to give you guys a heads up, I will also not be at your May meeting. Ed Coleman, the Deputy Director of Public Works, he's the backup. He will be running your May meeting, and then he will also be running the June meeting. And he'll introduce Emily to you guys in June.
perfect.
We have a latex paint exchange. We are doing it a little bit longer this year, and we tried to make sure that it coincided with Vigilante Day for pickup. You can do drop off and pick up at the same time this year. Previously, it was you could drop off for 1 week and then you could pick up for 1 week. Now we're doing them at the same time. So that if you're dropping off paint, you're like, ooh, I like that color, absolutely have at it. That will be occurring starting Earth Day week through the first week in May. So I want to say it ends on May 5th. We are going to be doing chipping of all green waste at the transfer station on we'll start that on May 5th or 6th. And so if we can encourage everybody to get all their green waste to the transfer station prior to that, that would be wonderful. We figured a lot of cleanups happen around Earth Day as well, and so the food waste reduction grant, phase 2 of the food waste reduction program for those of you that are new, the city of Helena received a grant from USDA for food waste reduction. Phase 1 was a pilot project to determine how our current composting operation would handle food waste, and if we would see any issues from it. That's still ongoing. And then phase 2 is urban chickens. So that part of the program was to provide 10 households with a coop, feeders, waters, the whole thing, and 4 laying hens. They also receive a kitchen scale, and they are required to weigh their food waste and then provide it to the chickens. And then we contact them on a monthly basis to figure out how much they've received, and then get their feedback on things that are going well, things that are not going well. At the end of this program, we'll have a lot of data on how much food waste can be diverted for this program, or as a result of this program. And then also we will have a cut list and materials list for approximate pricing for a urban coop that will work within the city of Helena. Potential barriers for people doing this on their own was they just didn't know what to do. Part of that program also includes 2 educational classes. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. The coop building is being done in coordination with the Scouts. A Eagle Scout or a Boy Scout needed an Eagle Scout project, and so we've been working with his name is George on the coops. Last Saturday we cut all the pieces for the coops, and this Saturday the program participants are meeting at the utility maintenance building to put their coops together.
How many participants?
10.
10, okay.
I do have the alternates list open though, and so if anybody knows of anyone that would like to participate, please go ahead and send them my way. Solar, sorry, I'm getting my brain going with you guys. The solar project at the Bill Roberts Golf Course is projected to start on the first week in May. We have a site walkthrough at the last week in April, which is a pre-construction meeting, just to dot all the I's and cross all the T's. And there is some potential for us that we have received some grant funding for that. And as soon as I can, I'll let you guys know all about that. We applied for the Mountains and Plains grant for Centennial Park overhauls and overhauls for the water treatment system at Bill Roberts Golf Course. And we'll let you know if we get any of those funds. I think that is most of it. Does anybody have any questions for staff? Oh, that's the next agenda item, so never mind. Sorry.
Yeah, that's coming,
Agenda item number 6, I'll hit that there.
coming up. That was a lot.
Yeah, no questions, but I mean, it sounds like you guys are doing great work. A lot of it.
I'm interested to see how the chickens. Oh,
I'm excited, yeah.
I don't think I have enough room for chickens because they'll destroy basically any ground I put them on.
If it's not big enough for them, yes.
That would be
Yeah, well, and 4 chickens won't do a ton of damage, but I'll be picking up most of our chickens at the beginning of May on my way back from a conference in South Dakota.
okay.
So I did get, we got some unfortunate news from our hatchery. She's not a hatchery, she's a small farm in Billings. She had a hawk problem, and so we're back at the drawing board for a small set of them. So some folks will be getting them a little bit later, and that's okay. Some folks were worried they wouldn't have their coops done in time.
So the coops are gonna be, it's 4 chickens?
Yep.
Or, okay, so that's pretty small. Which space?
So 4 chickens really don't need very much space. Apparently when you ask the Boy Scouts to build something, they build it.
Oh, they don't know.
The coop might be sturdier than my house. It's 4, the coop itself is 4 feet by 6 feet. So what everybody is getting in this pilot project is not going to be the plans that we put out.
Yeah.
In looking at the prototype and so yeah, chickens don't need that much space. These coops are 4 feet by 6 feet, and so they would almost classify as free range just with 4 chickens. My concerns with the size is that they might not be. The idea of a small coop is that the chickens can warm it themselves mostly in the winter. With a big coop like this, we'll have to look at maybe provide folks some radiant heaters. They're just a heater that attaches to the wall that's specifically designed.
I've seen.
Yep. You do not want to do a heat lamp. The 2 educational classes that are part of this program, we have a lot of first-time chicken owners in this program, and so the first class is this is a chicken.
Are they gonna build like something that where the chickens are foraging around, or?
They can, that's up to each individual and up to their own processes. Some of the folks are planning on doing chicken proof fencing throughout their entire yard, and then their intention is to open it up and let the ladies run around. Oh, did we just lose Zoom? Okay,
Just,
we might have got it back. Can you guys hear us still? Can you guys give us a thumbs up? Okay, yeah. We're good. Sorry. We just won't be able to see everybody for a minute.
That's all right. Well, that's good. That was a lot of good stuff. I don't have questions on that. And the paint exchange is advertised.
Yep.
Usual channels.
Yep, we did a social media outpost post. It's going out in the newsletter. We're a little bit behind on where we usually are getting the monthly newsletter out, but it'll be in the April newsletter. We also had a flyer that we put in with the vigilante registration packets this year. So now all of the kids that are building floats know to hopefully come get used paint, not the giant.
Yeah, we had our assembly today.
Hey,
Our
good.
vigilante assembly was today. The sad news that no vehicles larger than a 1-ton truck are allowed.
Yeah.
Um, I had never seen a Vigilante parade till last year.
Oh,
And I was pretty shocked when I saw tractor trailers driving down the gulch pulling floats. So, but we had our pump up the crowd assembly today. So, and they had the highest number. They had 45 floats last year from HHS,
that's awesome.
which has, I mean, almost 400 kids less than Capital has. Capital at 50. So they did beat us, but by numbers, by per capita, no, they didn't beat us. So we'll see how it goes now that the 100th is over and we're at 101 at this point. So that's good to know. For the officers report. So what I will say for the officers report is that we are actually down one officer right now, with Brian no longer able to participate. Nathan has been the secretary, and he's out again this month. He just has had travel with his job that he's been unable to be here for a couple months. So my plan is next month we would have go through and select officers next month. So just so everyone is aware, I will get that out via email as well, so that I can strong arm some people into doing some stuff for that part of it. So that is what I've got for an officer's report. Moving along to the next agenda item. CCB report to the commission. So I was unable to attend because I was actually out of town, and almost everybody was at that part of March. So I haven't heard anything from anybody.
Yeah, so that was fun. So Bob Jones,
Yeah.
said he would do it. And he had technical difficulties and he couldn't get on. So I ended up, for the request of the commission, I ended up giving you a presentation.
Okay.
It went well, actually. The commission seems pretty excited about some of your proposals. They asked a lot of questions, which was good. Some of them I could answer, some of them I could not, and asked them to send their questions your way.
Okay.
There was a question from Commissioner Reed that he wanted you guys to take a look at CPACE and provide the commission with your recommendations on what you guys think of CPACE and if you think it's a viable option for the city of Helena.
Okay.
So that was exciting. Your guys' kind of first commission directive task.
Yeah.
So.
Ask us to look at something. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what is CPACE? I'm not familiar with.
Oh, so it's a loan program for renewable energy, either retrofits or building. It's on the commercial side of things. So the city of Helena has a renewable energy loan program, but it's only available for residents. It's for residential, for homes. It's not available for commercial buildings. And so CPACE is a program that was actually set up federally for it's a very similar loan program, except so with the renewable energy loan program, you get up to $12,000 for set renewable energy projects that are listed in the resolution. And it's 0% loan. It has a 10-year as a 10-year time span, and it just goes on your tax bill. CPACE is similar, except that instead of the city funding it, it is, and it being a revolving loan like the renewable energy loan program is, it is where in order for somebody where you guys come in and CPACE is, excuse me, in order for commercial entities within the city of Helena to be eligible for the CPACE program, the city of Helena has to agree to have a CPACE program. There isn't really much of a lift for us besides putting it on the tax bill. But then that we don't, if they're delinquent on that portion of it, that's not us. That's actually handled by a different entity. If you guys would like, we could have the CPACE folks come and give you a presentation.
I think that'd be fantastic.
I will see if I can get that set up. And Ed knows, he's been running point on CPACE. The commission tasked Public Works with
Right.
looking
And
at
so there'd be an
CPACE.
opportunity for us to hear about the program, to understand the program, and then make recommendations back to the commission such that they're not just choosing to do something that the public doesn't want.
Exactly.
I assume is what the thought process is here.
Yeah. Well,
Makes sense to me.
and they know that you guys are looking more at this, this is more of your guys' area of specialty. And so you guys will be able to determine.
Happy to look into it. I know that there's been some legislation on it. I think mostly opening it up to multifamily housing, which is something we can promote. But what I did learn is that in Montana, we can call it the last best pace.
That is the slogan that they've been using, and I love it. At the next meeting. Perfect. East Helena just set one up. I don't know if they've done any loans off of it yet, but East Helena has done one. All right, well,
Great.
Yeah.
Research topic.
Sure. And as far as their questions, when they have their questions, we're happy to.
yeah, they were gonna submit them to Danae, and then Danae was gonna send them on, so that you guys can.
That would give us an opportunity to work on something here at this part of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully, we'll have all of our recommendations ready to go by December, and then but it'll never work that way because it's just.
We can dream. We can dream.
It's but while we're in this part of the year where we're not really working towards those recommendations, so our hope is to have recommendations completed by December, get together in January, vote on them, vote on the final presentation package, and then schedule a presentation with the commission to happen in February or March.
Well, ideally, it would actually be, you would be voting on approving the.
In December.
In December.
And then scheduling. in
And then
January.
you'd be good, yeah. Per the resolution that we created, this board, you guys, do an annual presentation in January. You guys haven't got to do one in January yet, but we're getting closer every time. So,
I thought our presentation this year was a tighter presentation.
it was, well, and based off, and what I'll do for next meeting is, or what I'll send out is I'll send out a clip of the commission meeting that has your guys' presentation in it, so you guys can listen to, you don't have to watch the entire commission meeting. You can just click on that section and it'll send you the clip. So you guys can hear what questions they had. It was, because it was more succinct and more clear, they actually asked questions and they were better.
They were directly related to the recommendations that were made.
Is there an annual report we put together as a supplement to the presentation or no?
So my understanding is we can put together whatever we want. Um, I don't know. I don't, so at the end of my first year, we were rushing to get a presentation together. The initial presentation that was put together was very large. And it was more comprehensive on all these areas of sustainability and not really focused. And I think that was meant to be in lieu of a larger report. And then we had to go back and scramble to revise it and get it presented. And so I think the short answer is yes, we can put together a longer report.
That's not always, hasn't always happened.
It I don't know that it hasn't always happened because I don't have enough experience with the board, because that was the first one I saw was that one in 2024, the first one I saw. So I would imagine that previous boards did have longer reports that they sent, because the initial CCB actually wrote the climate action plan for the city of Helena, the one that we are currently using. We're using a 2009 climate action plan in 2025, which was one of our recommendations, by the way, to maybe consider doing a new climate action plan for the city, since ours was so very dated. But we'll see how what the thought or the thinking on that is. And it's something that I think we could continue to push for. I wasn't necessarily certain that we could find a champion for that the first time through, but I think if we keep asking, I think that it will become, or maybe we can make it become more clear that we're missing out on things that we could be doing to be proactive, that if we choose not to do, would have much greater costs down the road. I think that's really my concern with it, just surrounding sustainability. And the simplest things is getting a population ready for the wildfires that we experience now versus the wildfires of the past. But we might need just a little bit more oomph behind it to push it over the finish line.
Well, and I hate to put it quite like this, but it is local government, and so sometimes you plant the seed, and then you water it, and then you get to see, it's and they're getting, even with the 5 recommendations, they have 30 boards.
Yeah.
And so they're getting 150 recommendations. Right. And so they're really working a lot harder to, I mean, we've seen leaps and bounds where the commission has really started to take the recommendations from the various committees or commission advisories and put them into a list that they can actually see and which ones correlate with each other, so they can even, approve a couple of
together.
Yeah, you guys can work together on this, or how would this work for you guys, that kind of stuff. And so they've actually started a mechanism this year to keep track of all the recommendations from the board, so things don't get lost. So even though you guys are presenting in January, they don't get lost as each board presents. And then in July, we'll know more about what makes it into the budget and what doesn't. Right. So you can have a better idea of what to ask for next year. But having an idea of where you're at is always good. Lets you know where you need to go.
Well, that's good. I mean, I'm glad that it was well received. I'm disappointed that I just was otherwise unable to hit that date.
Yeah.
It just had to be that date. And that was the only date that week or that date was the only time but I wasn't gonna tell my son that,
Right.
you're, go on the plane and start your 2,194 mile journey by yourself.
Yeah,
So,
no, and yeah, so hopefully next time, we'll have everything ready to go in January
That'd be-
and then
yeah.
we'll be able to, or December, and we'll be able to put that a little more. Those meetings are always a little bit easier to get on. Just for your information, if we hadn't presented in March, the next presentation we would have been looking at would have been in July. So it would have been after the budget season. And so we wouldn't have gotten an opportunity to ask for this budget season. Yeah, I wasn't prepared to present. That'll be evident in the video. And Ryan Leland from our director of public works was like, so just, she is not speaking on behalf of the CCB. She can speak to kind of what she knows, but she's not speaking on behalf of the CCB. So when one of the questions came up, how does the CCB feel about CPACE? I said, I have no idea.
and we'll hear something on it, and we can make a recommendation to you in that respect. So I'm curious is to just because I'm curious about this, how'd they feel about the glass crusher?
They loved it.
I love the grass. I love the grass.
They loved, oh gosh, okay, so I should have watched it and give you guys so they loved the glass crusher. They asked a lot of questions about that. They asked for Director Leland to explore it and see if we could get into the budget for this year. Director Leland said he would.
It just seems like one that why it hasn't happened to this point.
Sounds like you'd probably be saving money in the long term.
Well, it is
Yeah.
because we ship our glass to Utah to be recycled, versus having a glass crusher that could remove all of the plastic from the glass and using it locally as silica to go be made into concrete. So it just sustainability wise, it just makes sense to be trucking it down to Utah. I mean, emissions associated with that, not only the cost.
Yeah.
I mean, there's an environmental cost that's even greater on top of all that. So
we just redeveloped that relationship with Astro, but that's part of why this is even an option now. So it hadn't been an option in years previous because the relationship between the city of Helena and Ash Grove had deteriorated because we got mad that they wouldn't keep taking our class, and they're like, we can't. And so until you guys figure out this issue, and so Ed and I actually used to work with at DEQ with their new environmental. He's not new anymore, but he's been there for about 3 years now. And so we redeveloped that relationship, and they said, if you guys can do these things, we can take it. And so having that checklist helped. And then also having the strategic plan for waste reduction gave us some footing and really helped us identify it. And then the integrated solid waste master plan that just got done also highlighted. So, yeah.
and now to have a recommendation from a board to line up with that.
Yeah.
I think it's helpful. That's good. I mean, it would be great if there was because the possibility of doing it all here, you might be able to expand the sites that you accept glass at.
We'd be able to, so we can't expand the sites unless we own them.
I'm thinking of so we don't own the little recycling drops.
No, those are actually located on private properties that commercial businesses let us be on. So we used to have offsite glass recycling, and then someone decided to recycle glass and flip-flops, and they broke a bottle and they cut their foot, and then they sued us and Safeway.
Okay.
So we almost lost one of our most popular recycling sites, and so our insurance company said, if it's not on your property, you gotta pull it. And so
right.
so we pulled those, but we are making a lot of headway on the new entrance to the transfer station. And there will be a recycling drop-off location right there that will accept glass, so you can recycle it outside, so you can recycle it 24/7 outside of their transfer station hours.
Okay. That's good steps.
Yeah.
So do we own the one on the back side of Cruise, like on Cruise, is that city property?
Like Dale Harris Park,
Is that what that is part of?
I think that is.
It's down there by, whatever, is it the park building that's down there? It's that big building, if you take. If you're going to downtown and you're coming in the back way, essentially you take a left. Just after the parking garage. And then you go around towards the library.
Okay, yeah, that's Dale Harris Park. Yeah, we do own that one, I think. Let me check in on that.
Yeah. Okay, I was just curious because it just didn't seem that there was anywhere that you could recycle glass except for the transfer station.
Yeah,
And it just. And going to the transfer station is it's a process. For sure, you can ask the woman who works at the gate. If she remembers my dogs who bark at her every time. Every time I roll down my window, they bark at her when I'm trying to speak. So
I bet you Rhonda does.
I think she probably does because I probably come probably once a month, maybe a little bit more. I have enough capacity at home that I can save my stuff up and come right around then. So, well, good. That's good news to know. Anybody else have comments on the presentation? Questions? Concerns? Right. So if I don't have anything to add for the next agenda, we'll look into this CPACE thing so that we can schedule a speaker on that. Had we talked about scheduling a speaker on?
We talked about scheduling a speaker, but I can't remember what it was on.
Is it on biodiesel
Oh, you mean renewable diesel?
or renewable diesel?
Good. Let's see if we could get Jesse Thielen.
I thought we had kicked that around. But I don't have it in this poorly written set of notes. I'll have to dig through here. I'll let you know on that, but the CPACE for sure. So that we can start getting some of this stuff.
And I will see if I can get that for your meet, the CPACE folks for your meeting.
All right, that'd be great.
I'm sorry, can we go back to agenda item 6 quickly, just on
Sure.
on the report? I remember we had talked about electric vehicles quite
Yes.
a bit. Did that come up in the report at all? Or I think we
Yeah, because one of your recommendations was was a single multi-department electric vehicle. It was well
Okay.
received. Yeah. They did have a couple of questions as far as they got a little bit confused as far as they're like, we just bought the electric street sweeper and we've had some problems. Do we want to be, going after this and they're 3 times more expensive than the average ones? And so I let them know that you guys were thinking more a single use multi-use vehicle that more of the departments could use, like a Ford Lightning or a truck, a similar vehicle like that. I mean, pickup trucks are the most used.
In a pilot program.
Yeah,
So
in a
this
pilot
is
program.
one, this is not
Just one.
committing to anything
Yep.
more than let's see how it works.
Yep.
Let's use it for public outreach.
Yep.
What's happened to the poor street sweeper?
Oh, it breaks all the time. Oh, and now the batteries have started to quit on us, so we're only getting about 6, maybe 7 hours out of it. And then it has to charge all night. And then we're getting 6 and 7 hours. Yeah, we might have got a little bit of a win.
Did she come with a warranty?
Yeah, and they keep fixing her. They keep coming out and fixing her. But yeah, we even had so many problems. They even reset our warranty for us. And so setup wise, the guys like her. I mean, you're right in the middle of the cab instead of like to one side or the others. They say that you can see everything. It's so quiet you can hear everything. With the other ones, they're so loud that you can't hear as well, and so they feel like they're a lot that she's a lot safer. But yeah, they cannot take her on almost anywhere with the hills anymore because that just drains her battery. Yeah.
Besides the battery, is it the nature of our streets, maybe?
A little bit, just because we do have so many hills and so many steep grades. A lot of really tight turns as well because we aren't exact square grid. But the other part was just a lot of the parts. They didn't use a lot of stock parts. Like they didn't look at the current street sweepers and go, oh, this part will work for here or this part. They kind of made their own parts. And so every time something breaks, it has to sit.
Special part.
It has to sit for 2 weeks until they either make it in California or bring it up from California. So we get a lot of downtime with it. And then they decide in a heavy piece of utility machinery, they put a lot of plastic gears, and that's, yeah, I mean, just that high torque.
Was this a street sweeper company who made
Yeah.
this?
You must be testing it for them.
I feel like we kind of are. But yeah, so because of that, the commission was pretty hesitant on any type of a utility vehicle, but they were very receptive to the tryout of
Oh, multi-department
multi-department.
kind of pilot. So, yeah. I think you have to take small steps with new technology. I don't think that, so, but I'm fairly certain there's a type of truck right now that would be available for a whole lot less.
It would, yes.
So who knows? Well, good. That's good to hear. Did you have any more questions?
No, that was it. I just
on
remembered something.
that?
We
Okay.
kicked around a little bit.
So we'll try to make the CPACE for May as part of our May, and we can do the selection of officers and then because we don't have anything else planned for that period of time. So sounds good. So the next agenda item is we have an opportunity for public comment at this point. I don't see. So not hearing any public comment. Does anybody else have any other questions, concerns? Any members have any other questions, concerns, communications? All right, well, then I'm going to need a motion to adjourn.
I will move to adjourn the meeting.
And that means with a second.
I'll second.
All right. All in favor? Aye. We get a response from and we need a response from the folks that are online as well, please.
Very upset with us.
Oh, we got a hands up there.
Hi, I can finally speak, but I am in favor.
All right.
I am so sorry, guys. I didn't realize that you guys were not allowed to speak. You might want to ask if anybody has any.
Did anyone have any questions? If you weren't allowed to speak, just. All right, so seeing that we've got a motion to adjourn and it's been seconded, and I saw the hands up for in favor, we're adjourned. Thank you all for participating.